I built the initial prototype of this in about 10 hours, I would say. And that included like all of the database, all of the front end, all of the AI calls, which there isn't actually that many in here right now. There's a few. I've laid a few on. Like for example, this like is like a latest update sort of thing. I've set up emails. I've set up authentication. I've set up yeah, a lot of features actually. The other thing about Supabase, by the way, which is also insanely helpful, is it helps you set up your authentication, like your sign-in pages, your sign-up pages. It has that built in. So again, it's not a finished product, but it gets you going really quickly because they don't look after your emails and things like that. You need an additional service, but it enables you to set it all up. So you have all of like you have multi-factor. You can set up multi-factor. You can do your sign in, sign up pages, etc. And it also enables you to do like Google sign in and Microsoft sign in, all these sort of things. It has them layered in here. It's not like one click and you're done. There is a little bit additional. There's additional work to it, but it definitely makes it easier than historically, right? So all of these things combined just make the experience like you just think they've abstracted away so much of the very, very difficult stuff and made it literally 10 times easier. They truly have. So that is why I really like it as a beginner tool, as a way to get into this. And yeah, you find that it can get you really far. And you can do some impressive things. And then you find that as you hit the ceiling, just like learning anything, you find that you need to take your skills to another level and maybe use some other tools and maybe open source projects and things like that. But as a starting point to sort of get into this and to discover what's possible, this to me is a really, really high quality tool. So what's your process for vibe coding this app from initial setup to adding features? I just had an idea. Here. I know Fiona, you've been active on our AI Builders app, right? So I'll show you. I'll show you why. I'll show you why I actually got into this. I built this out. Okay, so the one thing used to annoy me so much here was I go to try to make a post, right? And I add an image. I can only add one image. I can only add one file at a time. And that used to drive me mad because I want to show lots of images, right? And so that one feature, I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. I want to build something custom. I might not have every single feature that Circle has, but I can customize it around how I want it, right? And so I can come in here and I've added the ability to add multiple images in a carousel, right? And so when I also create a post here, I can add images like this, and it loads multiple images for me. So that one thing, I was like, this is what I wanted. So I decided, okay, I just want to create a social media app like that. If I have a look about what I did, obviously I had the social media or community, social media / community idea, right? But if I just go right back to the start, this might take a while because I've done so many edits inside of here. Let's see. We can just trace what I did by looking at what I asked, right? And so I probably started from memory with, hey, I want to build a community site where users can post to. I'm pretty sure I would have just literally described what I wanted, and then I would have, that's what vibe coding is, right? It's like you're vibing with the AI. The AI is sort of coming up with the rendering of your idea. When you get to a certain point, it doesn't really become vibe coding anymore. It becomes like more precise coding. But anyway, it's sort of become like this singular name that everyone likes to think, likes to think negatively about it. But I like it for what it is. I think it's a great way to get started, and I think anyone who uses these tools will find the same thing. Like you truly will. You truly will. Hold on, I'll see if I can get back to the start, and then we can sort of maybe retrace what I sort of did. think this is getting back to when I started, and it'll be interesting to see. Like you'll see when I actually started this. I started it only last week. I basically finished it on the weekend, last weekend. You see here, I started with, I want to create a Twitter clone, but an entirely different UI. So obviously I was like, I want to create Twitter, but I want to create it totally custom. So, I want to create my own user experience. I want the posting to be stacked across the screen into squares. So on the main page, you see at least 9 squares, small navigation on the left-hand side, button to add a post, and other simple features to promote posting. So that's how I started. That's literally how I started. I didn't have that much planning. This is what true, I think, like what true vibe coding actually is, right? Like you just kind of tell the AI your idea, and then you sort of see what it comes up with. If you like it, you pursue it. If you don't, you get it to adjust. And this is such an amazing way to start a project. It truly is. It's certainly new, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's not going to get you to the end. It's certainly not going to get you to the end, but an amazing way to build a prototype. Absolutely seamless way to make a prototype. And you'll see here that it starts off, builds quite a lot of stuff for me, and then it does pretty well at the start here. And then okay, so let's look at what I said in the second instance. Great, there needs to be also the ability to post images into posts. So I got onto my image, it was my image issue pretty early on, right? Up to 20 per post, but they would be within a carousel in the post highlight on main page. Individual posts from the card would open up as a modal dialogue with info on the post. Okay. You know why this kind of sounds like gibberish as well is that I very rarely actually type anything. I'm always voice typing. And and I built the majority of this actually on my iPad, and the transcription on iPad is unbelievably terrible. But what's cool is the AI just like kind of figures it out. So you don't even need, you just need to kind of get the message across. And even if grammatically it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter. So that's just something that I highly recommend just doing voice on all your interactions with AI. It's been one of the biggest unlocks for me. I've been doing it for months and months now. Okay, so it keeps building it, and then the other reason I like Lovable is because it's sort of got best practice development baked in, and you actually learn quite quickly like what's a good idea, like refactoring, for example. What you want in your code base is you want it to be really, really modular. Okay, so I'll just jump in here to what the code view is inside of here. So I know when you first see, like just like I did, when you first see this as someone new to coding, you have no idea what any of this stuff means. No idea. Now, I have got to a place where I understand it. I understand it quite well. I understand sort of the patterns of how these things are building it. One of the patterns is incredibly modular. That is the idea that you want in the back of your mind. Modularity in code is very, very important, particularly for the AIs. The AIs like smaller code files that are 150, 200 rows or 150 rows and less for most of the code files. And so when you actually really dig into this, you see SRC stands for your source folder, has most of your main code. You'll see that a lot of these files are just short little files like this, right? None of them are long. And then you go to things like, let's have a look. So you go to like pages like this, all of these, they're super, super modular. And that's how Lovable actually builds it for you mostly initially. That's how most of these AI coding tools actually build it for you initially. And that is seriously a good way to do it as well, right? And then you've got components. All these components just sort of feed into it as well. So when you're actually looking directly at the app like this, right, in behind the scenes, there is pages like this. This is a page, and then there's all these little components within it, right? And they're all being rendered together. So you see here that this is like a card component. This is a component. This text area is a component. This comment area is a component. This image area is a component. This is a component. So it's all just components layered one on top of the other. And that was a massive unlock for me when I actually started to really understand that. The way I'll just jump to NoCode. This is why we built NoCode. Okay, so I come from an analytical background. Have no I have no history in development historically. Have tried to learn how to code a few times and then given up like within a day because it was just felt like too much. But what these AI coding tools enable you to do is there is just an ability to accelerate the speed at which you can learn how to develop high quality applications. And so what you can do with NoCode is you can connect to a GitHub repo, and you can see how these things are all rendered together, like I just described, right? So one of the ways you can figure that out is, okay, so let's go here. I've connected to the GitHub repo that we created in here. Okay, so all of this code here is now connected into NoCode. But what I had done, and what you can do as well, is you can click on, say, a page, right? Okay, so this index page, this is actually the main page here. Okay, but I can, within here, I can visually see everything that is connected to this particular page. Okay, so check this out. So this index page here, right? This has all of these what are called dependencies. And so right sidebar, post grid, create post button, welcome animation, feed summary banner, sidebar. So hopefully all these sound familiar. But you see here, that's all the things that are in here. Right sidebar, left navigation. What have we got? What did we have? Post grid, create post button. So this is how personally I started to really figure out how all of these things sync together. Is via NoCode, via visuals, because it's so hard when you're a novice. It truly is. It's so hard when you don't really know what's going on. To do that in your mind, to like really understand it in your mind when you see things like this. And so this has just been the biggest unlock for me. And then what you can do post that. Okay, so say for instance, we want to have a look at post grid. Okay. So you see here, if we want to understand the code, we can very easily here. But then, okay, let's add, okay, post grid. Let's look for post grid. Okay. If I click on this, you'll see that post grid has a postcard. Just one second. Yeah, so you see here, like visually, this is how I've really done it. This is visually how I've really started to understand how this all works together. And then I can go postcard, postcard, and then all of the things are connected up by that postcard. So this to be honest, and this is why we built this. This is exactly why we built this. I built it for me. I honestly built it for me, and now it's going to be up for all enterprise DNA, us, those who are connected with us. Currently, actually free. But this is how I truly took my skills to a new level. Truly did, right? I realized not long ago, like a few months ago, that if I really wanted to get good at vibe coding, if I really wanted to be like truly truly good at this, I needed to understand how to code. I needed to understand how to build applications. It can only learning how this all works is cool. Like it's just you start really seeing so many opportunities out there. It's unbelievable what's possible.